Most people will spend $25,000 on a new SUV that needs a $4,000 turbo at 50,000 miles. Then drive right past the vehicle that would have outlasted it by 250,000 miles. After more than 2 decades under the hood, I can tell you the SUVs that actually hit 400,000 miles aren't the ones in the commercials. They're sitting on used lots for pocket change because buyers chase badges and horsepower numbers instead of engineering. These 5 are bought almost exclusively by mechanics who know exactly what's underneath. No turbos waiting to grenade. No CVT transmissions on borrowed time. Just simple, overbuilt drivetrains designed to die of old age, not mechanical failure. Let's count them down. Number 5. The Toyota Highlander from 2008 to 2013 with the 3.5-liter V6. This is the SUV I recommend to people who want a Land Cruiser's reliability without a Land Cruiser's price. And they look at me like I'm crazy until I show them the engine. Under the hood sits the 2GRFE, the same 3.5-liter V6 that powers the Lexus RX 350, the Camry V6, the Sienna, and about a dozen other Toyota products. It produces 270 horsepower, runs a timing chain instead of a belt, and is naturally aspirated. So there's no turbo to fail and no belt service waiting at 100,000 miles. It's port injected, which means no carbon buildup on the intake valves that plagues modern direct injection engines. The 5-speed and later 6-speed automatics paired to it are proven Toyota units that any competent shop can service blindfolded. There is a reason fleet managers and taxi companies quietly buy these by the dozen. They have run the numbers across hundreds of thousands of miles, and the 2GRFE simply does not cost them money. I serviced one last year with 287,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. The owner wanted to know if it was worth fixing. There was nothing to fix. It passed compression with flying colors, and I told him to keep driving it. That's the reality with this generation Highlander. Forum owners regularly report 300,000 miles and beyond on nothing but oil changes, plugs, and the occasional water pump. RepairPal gives the Highlander a reliability rating of 4 out of 5 and ranks it near the top of its class, with annual maintenance costs running below the mid-size SUV average and a low probability of major repairs. A 2010 to 2012 Highlander with 120,000 to 150,000 miles runs $9,000 to $13,000 depending on condition. And you get 3 rows of usable seating, available all-wheel drive, and a cabin that ages gracefully. Compare that to a same-year model loaded with a turbocharged 4-cylinder from a German brand, and you're looking at half the price with triple the lifespan. When shopping, check the VVTi oil line for seepage. It is the one known weak spot on the 2GR engine, and it is cheap to address if caught early. Also verify the 3rd-row seating and rear air conditioning actually work, since those get neglected, and listen for any whine from the water pump bearing on higher mileage examples. Avoid the 4-cylinder base models. The 4-cylinder is adequate, but the V6 is where the longevity lives. Who should buy it? Families who want Toyota durability and do not care that the badge is not a Lexus. And anyone who keeps a vehicle until the wheels fall off, because with this one, they never will. Number 4. The Honda Pilot from 2009 to 2015 with the 3.5-liter J-Series VIA6. Honda's reputation for engines that simply refuse to quit is built on this exact motor. And the Pilot is the cheapest way to get it with 3 rows. The J35 V6 produces around 250 horsepower and is one of the most reliable 6-cylinders ever mass-produced. It's the same engine family found in the Odyssey, the Ridgeline, and the Acura MDX, which means it has been built in the millions and proven across every kind of abuse American families can throw at it. The transmission is a traditional automatic, not a CVT, and not a dual-clutch experiment. It's a smooth, proven unit that shifts cleanly for the long haul. The Pilot is boxy and unfashionable, and that's exactly why it depreciated into bargain territory while buyers chased sleeker crossovers. Here's the thing nobody tells you. That boxy shape is also why it's so practical. The flat roofline gives you real headroom in all 3 rows and a cargo area you can actually load a refrigerator into, something the swooping crossovers traded away for styling. A 2012 to 2014 Pilot with 130,000 miles goes for $9,000 to $13,000, and that buys you 8 seats, a flat folding second and third row, and the kind of build quality that holds up to a decade of car seats and soccer practice. RepairPal consistently ranks the Pilot near the top of its class with annual maintenance costs well below the segment average, and the probability of a major repair sits comfortably under the norm for 3-row SUVs. The one thing to know is the VCM, Honda's variable cylinder management system. On some of these engines, cylinder deactivation can contribute to oil consumption and occasional rear spark plug fouling. It is not a death sentence, and many owners install an inexpensive inline device that keeps all 6 cylinders firing, which eliminates the issue entirely and is a popular, well-documented fix in the Pilot community. When inspecting one, pull the dipstick and check oil level and condition. Ask about spark plug history, and listen for any transmission shudder during low-speed shifts. A fluid service with genuine Honda automatic transmission fluid resolves most early shudder, and using anything other than Honda's own fluid is how people ruin these transmissions prematurely. Check the rear motor mount too, since a worn one causes a clunk on acceleration and is a cheap fix. Who should buy it? Anyone who needs 3 rows and wants Honda engineering for the price of a stripped-down compact, and families who would rather spend their money on the road trip than on the repair shop. Number 3. The Lexus GX 470 from 2003 to 2009 with the 4.7-liter V8. This is a luxury SUV selling for the price of a used economy car. And underneath that Lexus badge is one of the most over-engineered platforms Toyota has ever built. It is a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado in a tuxedo. The 2UZFE 4.7-liter V8 is the same engine family that powered the Land Cruiser 100 series, an engine with a near-mythical reputation among people who actually wrench for a living. It is an iron block, naturally aspirated V8 with no turbos to grenade, and a documented track record of 400,000 miles and beyond on scheduled maintenance. Yes, it runs a timing belt, and that belt needs replacement every 90,000 miles for about $800 to $1,200. But that is a known service item, not a surprise failure, and a well-maintained belt history on one of these is basically a certificate of immortality. The GX 470 is body-on-frame with full-time 4-wheel drive and a locking center differential with low range. This is not a crossover pretending to be tough. It is a genuine off-road platform with leather, real wood trim, and premium audio bolted on top. The 5-speed automatic behind it is the same Eisen unit Toyota used across its truck lineup for over a decade, and it is virtually indestructible when you service the fluid on schedule. A 2005 to 2008 GX 470 with 120,000 to 150,000 miles runs $11,000 to $16,000, and a comparable 4Runner V8 from the same era commands thousands more, because shoppers see a Lexus and assume expensive repairs. In reality, annual maintenance averages around $600, lower than many compact SUVs half its size, because the parts are shared across Toyota's entire truck range and the aftermarket is enormous. When shopping, confirm the timing belt service history and negotiate hard if it has not been done. Inspect the lower ball joints, a known wear item at about $400 to $600 for the pair. Check for dashboard cracking and hot climate examples, cosmetic but good leverage at the negotiating table. If the vehicle has the rear air suspension, test that it rises and lowers properly, and know that many owners convert to standard coil springs for a few $100s to eliminate the worry entirely. Hunt for one with full Lexus dealer records because these owners tend to baby them. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants real off-road capability, luxury comfort, and a Land Cruiser drivetrain at a fraction of the price, and overlanders who have not yet realized the secret is out. Number 2. The Toyota Sequoia from 2008 onward with the 5.7-liter iForce 5.8. Picture a full-size, body-on-frame SUV built on the same platform as the Tundra, with 3 rows of seating, 381 horsepower, and a frame engineered to tow 7,000 plus pounds without flinching. And you can buy one with 120,000 miles for less than a new compact crossover. Nobody shops for these. That's the opportunity. The 3URFE 5.7-liter V8 is one of the most overbuilt engines Toyota has ever dropped into a consumer vehicle. It uses dual overhead cams with variable valve timing. It's chain-driven with no belt to ever replace. And the block is aluminum with iron cylinder liners designed to shed heat under sustained load. This is an engine that was built under stress from the factory, meaning it never works hard enough to wear itself out at the rate a smaller, strained motor does. I've personally serviced these past 300,000 miles and watched them still pass compression like new. On owner forums, this platform regularly reaches 300,000 to 400,000 miles, and the related Toyota 5.8 architecture has documented examples approaching 600,000. The only common issue worth knowing is the secondary air injection pump, which can fail in cold climates and trip a check engine light. It's an emissions component, not a structural one, and the fix runs $400 to $800, so it never threatens the engine's actual longevity. A 2013 to 2015 Sequoia SR5 or Limited with 100,000 to 130,000 miles sells for $17,000 to $22,000. And the 2008 to 2012 models drop to $11,000 to $16,000. At those prices, you're getting a body-on-frame Toyota 5.8 with seating for 8 for the cost of a used economy sedan. The everyday math is just as good as the longevity math. Parts are common, any shop can work on it, and there's no proprietary turbo system or dual-clutch gearbox waiting to hand you a 5-figure repair bill. When inspecting one, check underneath for frame rust and confirm any recall work was completed, since Toyota issued frame-related recalls on some early trucks. If the vehicle is a platinum trim with air suspension, test that the rear springs rise and lower properly, or stick with the SR5 and limited coil spring versions to avoid the issue entirely. Inspect the front end for ball joint and tie rod wear, because these are heavy vehicles and steering components wear faster than on lighter SUVs. Then pull the transmission dipstick. The fluid should be red or light pink, never dark or burnt, because deferred transmission service is the one thing that can shorten the life of an otherwise bulletproof powertrain. Who should buy it? Large families and anyone who tows and wants to put 200,000 more miles on it without anxiety. Skip it, only if fuel economy matters more than longevity, because the V8 returns about 13 miles per gallon in the city and 17 miles per gallon on the highway, which is simply the cost of a V8 hauling 5,500 pounds. Number 1. The Lexus RX 350 from 2010 to 2015 with the 3.5-liter V6. This is the SUV I recommend more than any other in the cheap and bulletproof category, and almost nobody talks about it at this price. Under the hood is the same 2GRFE 3.5-liter V6 found in the Highlander, the Camry Vi6, and the ES350, an engine that has earned a place on Ward's 10 Best Engines list and a reputation for outliving the cars wrapped around it. It produces 275 horsepower, runs a timing chain designed to last the life of the engine, and is naturally aspirated with no forced induction complexity. It's port injected, so there's no carbon buildup on the intake valves that kills newer direct injection engines. This is the closest thing to a guaranteed 300,000-mile drivetrain in the entire used market. Owners give this generation RX a reliability rating near the top of everything Lexus has built, and the stories are not outliers. I worked on 4 of these in a single month recently, with over 600,000 combined miles between them, and not one needed anything beyond routine maintenance. One needed a cabin air filter. That was the extent of it. A 2011 to 2013 RX 350 with 120,000 to 150,000 miles runs $11,000 to $16,000. And for that you get a cabin that floats over rough pavement, soft touch leather, and a quiet ride that fools passengers into thinking you spent $40,000. Compare that to a same-era German luxury crossover, where annual repair costs routinely top $1,000 and a single suspension or electronics failure can cost more than the RX is worth, and the choice makes itself. The 6-speed automatic is smooth and proven across millions of miles. When shopping, the single most important thing to verify is the VVT oil line on models from 2010 to 2012. There is a rubber oil line for the variable valve timing system that should be replaced with the updated metal version. If it fails, it dumps oil quickly, and that is an engine killer. Budget $200 to $300 if it has not been done, and treat this as non-negotiable. If the vehicle has a tow package, check the oil cooler lines for the same rubber to metal upgrade. Test the power tailgate, the touchscreen, and every electrical accessory. Check tire wear for neglected alignment, which is common but cheap to correct. Who should buy it? Almost everyone shopping under $16,000. Commuters, families, retirees, anyone who values reliability and comfort over flash. You are getting Lexus luxury, Toyota engineering, and Honda level ownership costs. And the math does not make sense, which is exactly why you should buy one before the rest of the market catches on. So there they are, 5 SUVs the market sleeps on, while buyers fight over overpriced crossovers with 150,000 miles. The Toyota Highlander, with its Lexus-grade V6 that nobody connects to the badge. The Honda Pilot that hides accurate engineering under a boring shape. The Lexus GX 470, with genuine Land Cruiser DNA for economy car money. The Toyota Sequoia, the most undervalued full-size V8 in America. And the Lexus RX 350, the single best long-term value in the entire used SUV market. You now know 5 SUVs that will outlast vehicles costing 3 times as much. And you know exactly what to check before you hand over $1. The next time a salesman steers you toward a 3-year-old lease return with a turbocharged 4-cylinder and a repair bill waiting to happen, you'll know there's a chain-driven, naturally aspirated, overbuilt SUV sitting one row over that nobody's paying attention to. If this kind of straight talk helps you shop smarter, hit subscribe. I've got a video coming on the exact model years to avoid across every major brand. The one bad year that can ruin an otherwise great SUV. Like, if it helped. Drive safe, take care of your vehicle, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.